Hey guys, this is John. Welcome to John's Vintage Road Bike Garage. Back when I was growing up, 16 years old or so, working at a bike shop, it was always the Italian bikes that caught my eye. I just thought they were the cat's meow. They had the sharpest looking frames. They had the most artwork on their frames. They were beautiful. Most had funny names we couldn't pronounce. They had steep angles, Campagnolo components, sometimes funky shaped tubes, pantographing. Oh, that's cool. You know what, guys? I love these Italian bikes. I got 12 of them. I got a couple honorable mentions also to show you upstairs. And I'm just gonna go through them. About 1 minute a piece, just take you around the bike, briefly show you what they are and what they have on them, things like that. Please leave in the comment section below which is your favorite bike and which one should I get, because I don't have them all. What is your favorite? So let me know in the comment section and stay tuned. Let's get through them. Next bike is called a Freyjous or a Freyjous. It is Italian build. I picked this up at the Chicagoland Bike Swap last year. Matter of fact, it's coming up soon. Beautifully equipped. We put it together with some Nova Record parts, such as large flange hubs. Has a Fiamme sew-up rims. Full Nova Record group, including the pedals. And it cleaned up pretty well. Looks like a Reynolds frame. You can tell by the dilapidated sticker. It's got a pretty unique seat cluster there. I don't know, other brands like Attalla, or Attalla I should say, look like they use something similar. Let me know if you know anything about that in the comment section. It does have a Brooks saddle. Beautiful oldie but a goodie. The Swift saddle, the big rivets. Not the correct handlebar and stem though, let's be clear, but still beautiful. Love this bike, love the color. The next bike is an Attalla. This bike here is probably from the early 70s, maybe 72. If you know better than I, which is more than possible, tell me in the comments section below. Love the chrome lugs, love the work on this. Strong light cranks, Nova Record rear derailleur. This particular one has some Campy Tipo hubs and some Nisi rims. And it does have that unique seat cluster like the last bike. Center pull brakes. Unicanter saddle with the seat post that is not correct. I believe that's the correct cockpit. However, these handlebars are trashed. I picked up a pair of 3T bars at the last bike swap and we're gonna put those on. Same thing with the brake levers, those are not correct. Looking for some Weinmans with the white hoods. Beautiful bicycle. I bought it on a whim. It's not my size, but it is a piece of history. So the next bike is an early 80s Garciotti, you pick. Beautiful bicycle. This is a repaint. This bike is fully equipped with a Nova Record and Super Record mix, mostly Nova Record. Pretty cool. Got some Mavic rims. Got your MA40s. Of course, your small flange hubs, down tube shifters of course. I did splurge and buy the pantograph outer ring. I just think that looks pretty cool. We got ourselves a Regina freewheel with a Setasport chain. And this is a 10-speed drive bike, meaning that it was painted by 10-speed drive imports. And it does have a Garciotti, you can barely tell, it's a Garciotti Chanelli Unicanter saddle. Pretty cool. The next bike is a Colnago. Now, which one is it? Guys, I'm not going to debate anybody. If you want to debate in the comments section below, that will help the algorithms. Some people say it's a Profile CX. Some people say it's a Super Profile. It does have the crimped, seamed top tube and down tube. It does not have the bridge in the back. You guys decide what it is. I'm tired of arguing about it. I do have the Triple T cockpit with the Konago pantograph stem. This is the Campagnolo crank with the extra polished, I guess they call it the Mexico crank, with the pantograph chain rings. We got a Regina freewheel, the hollow chain, Regina hollow chain, Nova Record hubs, as well as a Mavic Open 4 CD rims. Pretty cool bike, love it. The thing handles amazingly. It's in the Team Cerrone colors. It's gorgeous. This one gets a lot of attention. Love the roll saddle. Which one's your favorite? Put it in the comments section below. Our next bike is a 1986 Pinarello Treviso. Now this bike is gorgeous. It's all original. When I say original, meaning I didn't modify it. It came with 2 sets of wheels, and I love this thing. It's not my size. I can't even ride it, but it's hard to find one in good shape. Reason why is these are probably the most wimpy decals on the planet. People are shocked that they're still intact, and the reason why is that there's 8 miles on this bike, maybe. It does have the crank that is, what do you call it? It's not, I can't come up with a word. What is that? What do they call it when you don't have the groove in the crank? But yeah, they had that in 1986. The hollow chain from Regina freewheel, super record of course, equipped. It does have a aero rim. It's got a, what are these things? Wolber. That's what I thought, Wolber rims. It did come with a second wheel set with some matrix arrows, which are not apropos. I did change the stem out, same stem, I just put it in silver. A 1A stem, super record seat post, and a roll saddle. So it did come with a Vetta saddle, which is not correct. I did change that. But yeah, beautiful bike, great specimen. Maybe I'll get my wife to ride it, it's her size. Our next bike is a chooch, a chooch, a choach, a sioch. Actually, we could end all the arguments now. There's a video online, look it up, and they asked the builder, Giovanni, how did you come up with the name? And what he said was, when my father was growing up, he called my father a chooch. And he said it like that, chooch. And he said, when I was growing up, my father called me a chooch. And they said, well, what does that mean, Giovanni? He says, it means you're good for nothing. Waste of space. Is that not the coolest name for a bike ever then? But that's the way he pronounced it. I always call it a choach when I was a kid. Got the pantograph chainring, super record drivetrain on it. We got the can't be brakes, of course. Somewhat not apropos, arrow to seat post. Got the 1A stem, Chanelli bar. See a pattern here, do you not? Nova record hubs. I got the look pedals on there because I ride this thing. And I have the vintage looks. Beautiful bike. I don't know what year this is from. Maybe you could tell me. It's the designer, the Chooch designer. But I love it. And it handles wonderfully, and I put miles on it. The next bike is a 1988 Basso Lodo. Beautiful bicycle, Columbus tubing. It's got the Columbus fork. Of course, it's all chrome plated. The rear stays are chrome as well. They're not this one's not perfect, unfortunately. It's got a little bit of rot right there, but otherwise in good shape. Now the group on it's kind of a hodgepodge, I'll be quite honest with you. You got an early Athena crank, a chorus derailleur. Now that chorus derailleur should be indexed, but it's not. It's just some friction shifters. I got some Athena brakes on here and an Athena aero seat post. All the Athena parts in this actually came off a bike I used to own years ago, a full Athena bike. It does have the like a chorus hub and a Mavic Open Pro Sport rim. The cockpit, my only bike with the Chanelli 65 Criterion bars and a 1R stem. San Marco saddle, why? Because it's yellow. Beautiful bike, handles like the thing's nuts. Criterion design, very quick around the corners. Really fun bike. It's missing some decals right here. I'll get them, it's the same color green, but they go up and down right there. The next bike is a 1992 Colnago Master Pew, PIU. And what made it a Pew was the aerodynamic cable routing and a couple other features. If you can remember what they were, please put it in the comments section below. Now this is the Team Buckler colors. Originally this bike, if it were true, would come with a full Suntour Superb Pro group. But you know what? I even put an older group on here because I always wanted a Colnago with the, what do they call those cranks? The Mexico cranks. Actually, it's a GPM or GPM crank. Super record throughout. Otherwise, it does have the cobalt brakes and regular Nova record shifters. The hubs are spectacular. I built these wheels back in 1987. That has the Star hubs, the DT spokes, and the open 4 Mavic CD rims. And these rims, I've been riding these wheels forever, and they've been holding up really well. So I guess I knew how to build a wheel. It does have the Colnago pantograph seat post, a non-vintage Colnago saddle, the 1/8 stem with the pantograph. Beautiful bike. Now, rumor has it that if I went on a bike trail with this, even though if I were a single man, I'd be able to pick up women with it. Is that true? No? Well, okay. Our next bike is a 2006 Chanelli. Now, what's really interesting about these is they've been making the same frame for years, just different tubing. And this has the Columbus Neuron tubing. This puts it at like a 2006. As you can see, it's got the beautiful chrome lugs, chrome 4 crown, chrome stays, and it's got a hodgepodge of parts, to be quite honest with you, for its year. For instance, it's got the monoplanar brakes. I think those are from 92, correct me if I'm wrong. A mixture of Campagnolo 8-speed in the back here. It's got the Chorus crankset, which I think is even from a different model year. You could fill me in on that if you like. Down here we got the Campagnolo Omega rims. I put on some Victoria Corsa tires on there. And it's got some Chorus hubs. So it's a nice mix. Chanelli 1/8 stem with a, what do I have on there? 64-44 bar. Love the saddle. San Marco rolls just to round this thing out. Beautiful bike. Because of the hodgepodge, I'm thinking about actually doing a retro mod on this bike, taking these parts off. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. I'm thinking about like a semi-modern Campagnolo 10-speed group. So we'll see. Last but not least is a 1988 Ochsner. Now this has the Olfen Ochsner signature on the top tube, and I got this actually in a barn find years ago, 2013, 10 years ago. And I actually called Olfen Ochsner for the decals. These are just a vinyl decal. Olfen himself, who passed away I think 3 or 4 years ago, answered the phone, told me he had the decals, and then he told me it was a 1988. I said, where was this frame built? He goes, it was built in Italy. They only did it for 1 year. It's got the Chanelli lugs, Chanelli bottom bracket that is not chrome, kind of funny. And look at the stays. What does that look like? He could not tell me who built the frame. Someone said there's that Italian builder, I guess they build under the name Vetta. Could be Chanelli, I don't know. But yeah, cool bike. It's got the Super Record group on there. It's got some Argon Seal rims, which are probably going to go away. I have another bike for these. I think I'm going to put the Aero Matrix on here in black. They look cool. It's the same era, same year. And I don't know. You know me and my bling. I like to look good. Got this really cool San Marco saddle with the Ochsner stitched into it. Really sharp. But if you know who built this bike for sure, no guessing. We had plenty of guessing already. If you are in the know, please let me know in the comments section below. Now my last real Italian bike is a Garciotti. How do you pronounce that? You're going to argue about it for days. But you can tell me in the comments section if you could spell it phonetically. But it's actually made by Allen. And just a beautiful bike. And Allen made aluminum frames and stuck everyone's sticker on it. As long as you had a couple nickels rubbed together, Allen would put a decal on it for you, and you could call it your own. I have this thing set up with a mixture of Super Record components. Got some sew-up tires, which are not even mounted, to be quite honest with you. And a Chanelli cockpit. The Aero seat post, which may not be apropos for its time. However, it's my only 25.0 post, and I'm not gonna get rid of it just for that reason. Turbo saddle, and this thing's pretty light. It's about 19.5 pounds as it sits, and I'm actually intending on riding this thing. I just need to get some new sew-ups. So, yeah, cool bike. Now we have a couple honorable mentions. Some would say they're not so honorable. This is a 19, whoops, nope, this is a 2016 Mozzie. But is it? Not really. It's made in China. I like to call it my Chitalian Mozzie. Why? Because it's made in China. Not to say it's a bad quality bike, it isn't. Matter of fact, the workmanship is sick. A full Athena group, 10-speed, and the lug work. Honestly, the chrome is better quality than anything I've seen out of China. Actually, anything I've seen out of Italy. Beautiful stuff, just gorgeous. Now, the bike itself rides harsh. It'll beat the snot out of you. But boy, sure looks pretty. All right, guys, last but not least is my Colnago Super Single. And yeah, it's another Italian bike. It's got a Colnago sticker. It's made in China. However, it's beautiful. They really did a great job with this thing. And it rides very nimbly. Now, I have this thing set up with a freewheel. It's a flip-flop hub. On the other side, there's a fixed gear. Now, you know, if you put me on a fixed gear, it'd be kind of like an engine when it blows a rod. You know, the rod goes out the side of the engine and blows the motor. Well, that would be my knee blowing up. So I'm not riding no fixed gear. But anyways, yeah, this one's a lot of fun. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching the channel. Greatly appreciate you being here. And if this is the kind of content you like to see, please like this video. Comment down below about what you'd like to see, what ideas you might have for the channel as well. I'm always trying to keep it fresh. So stay tuned. We're going to have some other build videos coming on. More on the Freyjous PX10 and a few other things. So stay tuned.